is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
Time I was almost killed by a neo-Nazi. For my singing friends out there, people have asked me to share some stories from the road. I hope this inspires you. One of the scariest obstacles I faced in my 35-year singing career was almost being killed by a neo-Nazi. Years ago, my band was on tour in Europe with an extremely heavy metal act. We were about to open for this heavy metal act in this massive bull ring in southern France. It had just rained the day before, foul-smelling mud everywhere, 15,000 male metalheads packed into the arena, all waiting for the main act. Problem was, my band, the opening act, we weren't heavy at all. We were a melodic rock act. Not the smartest billing, if you ask me. Haha. So there we were, gearing up to play our first tune. We started playing, and halfway into our first song, the crowd started booing, which was only the beginning of our troubles. The entire crowd then started screaming at us and then throwing things at us, and if that wasn't bad enough, this huge 6'5", 280-pound bald dude with a swastika tattooed on his head, who was standing right next to the mosh pit, he started screaming expletives at me and literally telling me that he was going to kill me. My mind started racing. Here we were playing something along the lines of Journey to an audience that wanted to hear something heavier than Motorhead. And now there was this bald swastika Hulk standing in front of me shouting that he was going to kill me. The show could not go on until this guy was addressed. So I stopped my band and I posed a challenge to Mr. Swastika. I later find out his name was Heinz. "You think you're tough, huh?" he shouted back. "I don't think I'm tough, I know I'm tough." All the while, he's still calling me a pussy, amongst other things that you can probably imagine. I yelled, "All right, tough guy, why don't you come up on this stage?" The stage was about 20 feet above the audience, so I figured there was no way for this guy to actually get up on the stage. But then the crowd started pushing Heinz up, and he was able to grab onto some scaffolding that started halfway up the stage and climb up the rest of the way, and he got up and started marching straight towards me. I'll admit, I was as scared as a little girl. I wanted to go backstage and take a big girly pee-pee, but instead, I motioned for my band to immediately get off the stage while Heinz continued marching towards me, screaming that he was going to kill me. My mind was still racing. I asked him again, "So you think you're tough, right?" He says, "What is this, some kind of joke?" I say, "Put out your hand." He reluctantly agreed, fire in his eyes. Meanwhile, the arena got so quiet that you could hear a pin drop. Then I screamed into the microphone as loud as I could, "Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Heinz." Then shoved the microphone into Heinz's hand, and booked it for backstage. Heinz looked out at the audience. It was totally silent. 15,000 eyeballs glued to him, and he freaked. He had no idea what to do. So he dropped the mic. The feedback got so loud, I thought everyone's ears were going to start bleeding, ran for the edge of the stage, and swan dove off the 20-foot platform into the audience. I rushed back to the mic and shouted, "Let's hear it for Heinz!" And the audience went berserk in a good way, indeed. You'll face all sorts of obstacles in your path to great singing. Criticism, self-doubt, neo-Nazi. Next time you're in one of those situations, facing some big, ugly obstacle, just remember, things could have been much worse. If I can overcome a raging neo-Nazi who wants to rip my head off and who's backed by a horde of 15,000 fuming metalheads, you can overcome whatever obstacle you're facing right now. God bless.